Another episode where we're taking a look at the biggest storylines facing this Buffalo Bills team as they head into their 2024 training camp. I'm Jonathan Acosta, joined here by our WGRZ Bills insider, Vic Carucci. And Vic, we're looking at the defensive side of the ball in this one. And one of the most important figures for this Bills defense now for a few seasons, several seasons, Matt Milano. He goes down week 5 last season with that leg injury that keeps him out for the rest of the year. We saw the impact that it had on that defense, especially right away. Terrell Bernard ends up having a fantastic year, but we both know, Bills Mafia knows, that in order for the Bills to get to where they want to go, eventually get to that Super Bowl, they're going to need a healthy and productive Matt Milano.
Matt Milano was such a missing piece. I mean, so pronounced, his absence through that second half of last season. And it was noticeable. The defense had a void that it really couldn't overcome. However, it did an excellent job, frankly, of trying to overcome that and other injuries. And I credit a lot of it to Sean McDermott's coaching and the play calling that he did. But Milano's presence would give this defense such a boost as long as he's healthy. I think this is going to be taken with a sense of caution. You get the feeling that this team does not want to rush him back. It's a serious injury that he underwent, that he suffered, and surgery and all of that, and the recovery. And while he's been working diligently at rehabilitating, you sort of saw through this offseason, yes, he was on the field for some work and definitely working on his conditioning, his aerobic conditioning and so forth, and working on his strength, all the things that you don't want to see drop-offs. More than anything, it's Matt Milano above the shoulder pads, that knowledge that he has, those instincts that he has that make him one of the very best linebackers in the league. Getting him back to anything approaching full health will be such an impact for this defense. But the caution is, don't rush him back. And I think that's what the Bills look at here. Find the right timing to put him in there, because if he suffers a setback, it could be something that could be not only damaging to the 2024 season, but perhaps to Milano's career.
And speaking with Sean McDermott this offseason, he kind of made it known that the Bills were kind of ramping him up, I think was the term he used. You know, they waited to bring him back until mini camp. It was the first time that we saw him out on the field going through drills alongside his fellow linebackers like Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams, and saying that if he was in a good spot, then that possibly they could ramp him up to more full participation in training camp, which is certainly what the team and fans want to see out of Milano. Do you think he could, going back to what you said, they don't want to rush him, but do you think he could be ready to play week 1 of the season? And again, if there's a healthy Matt Milano playing next to a Terrell Bernard now in his second season as a starter, just how vital is that for this Bills defense?
Well, I think the best scenario would be a healthy Matt Milano ready to go day 1 of the season, of course. But I think the price that could be paid if that ends up being too soon, and remember, sometimes you have to protect a player from himself, but the price would be huge because now you wouldn't have him perhaps for another prolonged period. My sense is, yes, they want to target that first game. I'm sure Matt Milano wants that first game and more. I'm sure he wants to do as much as he possibly can in training camp to get ready for the season. And here's the other thing. As a linebacker, contact position, while they're not in pads a whole lot during training camp, there has to be some ramping up of contact when you're at the ultimate collision position of linebacker. So how they'll balance that with not overdoing it with him will be something to see in training camp. And my sense would be, even though we haven't heard any official word on this from Sean McDermott or anyone else in the organization, some sort of pitch count maybe, right? And how many snaps do you put him out there in training camp practices, and how many in preseason games? But no matter what, even as you're looking for the guy to recover and you don't want to cause additional damage or any setback, you can't baby a guy, and he knows that. It's football. It's intense competition. It's violent, and it's 100% injury guarantee. So at some point, he literally has to go fully into the deep end.
Very quickly, when he is out on the field, at training camp, going through these drills, going through these practices, what are you going to be keeping your eye on that'll let you know that he's on his way back, both physically and how you mentioned earlier, maybe more importantly, mentally?
The thing I have always looked at when players are coming back from major leg injuries of some sort, whether it's knee or a broken leg or anything that a foot, is the trust that they place in that. And a lot of that through the years, just talking with players, is subconscious, and then sometimes it's fully conscious. And the more they're thinking about it, they'll usually tell you the worse that is. It's movement in the freest way possible, with abandonment, just doing everything you normally do and trusting that both your legs are going to support you and allow you to have that mobility. With Matt Milano, his game is that anticipation game, but that ability to insert himself, to put himself where he needs to be to make a play. That requires movement. Is he the best athlete in the world? No, but he doesn't have to be, but he does have to move and take advantage of that ball hawking instinct that has defined his career.
And it's those ball hawking instincts that we saw at the beginning of last year when he was playing at an all-pro level, frankly. The interception against the Raiders comes right off the top of my head. And he had one against the Jets opening night, too. I know the Bills would certainly love to have that version of Matt Milano coming back for this 2024 season. We'll see how he progresses. We'll see how he's looking when training camp gets started July 24th over at St. John Fisher. That's it for now, though. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.